What's up? Yep. Y'all see where it's at. Against all odds. Hmm. Odds. This be the realest stuff I ever wrote. Hmm. Just listen. Just listen. I'm gonna learn y'all something because I'm gonna learn something from y'all too. I just want the chorus to come right back in one more time because I want y'all to pay attention and understand what we up against. Listen, because we up against all odds. I know that all of us understand that fact. But check it out. Check this out. Right. All right. All right, y'all. So welcome to the Great Minds Project 5.0, the show. The show where I will simply discuss the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter about whatever the subject is. Uh, my show is dedicated to revitalizing our communities, rebuilding, healing our communities, restoring the hope in our community. My show is dedicated to any mass incarceration, any the school to prison pipeline. My show is dedicated to ensuring that brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, you know, that they be given a second chance at life if they show that they have changed their lives while in prison. And because we want to reunite those brothers and sisters with their family members, with their children, because no one really can understand the impact that a father or a mother's absence from their child's life can have. No one really understands that impact until it happens. And so, what I dedicate myself to is trying to end that process, that stigma, that institutionalization of incarceration. And so, today, I speak about against all odds. Because we fight a monster. For those of us who fight, we fight a monster that's so big, so great, so gruesome, so brute. But we must fight that monster. We don't shy away from adversity because we realize that some of our brothers and sisters of the past gave their life up so that we can have it easier. So who would we be to not continue to carry that torch? We would be a dying nation of people if we didn't continue to carry that torch. And, so we're against all odds, but I got to run this back a little more, y'all. Check this out. All right, y'all. I just wanted to play that again because when I was incarcerated, I felt that I was against all odds. I felt that I didn't have a chance to really show who I am. And sometimes we got to realize that we've been putting on a show too long. We've been putting on a show too long. And for those who understand what I'm talking about, you know, you know. If you know, you know. Because we put on this facade for so much of our lives that we buy into it. We think that's who we are. We really begin to think that that's who we are when that's who we are not. The hardest thing that I have ever done in my entire life was be something that I wasn't. Why was that so hard? Because I was being something that I wasn't. I had to always live up to that character. I wasn't a gangster. I wasn't a criminal. I wasn't a violent person. I wasn't a drug dealer. I wasn't any of those things that were attached to me based on my characteristics. But I became those things when I put those clothes on, that mindset on, that facade on, that mask. I became someone else. And so people would meet me and they would say, wow, meet you or Demetrius, man, he this, he that, he. No. Meech and Demetrius is just an intelligent young man who was lost, who was really lost in a world that was chewing him up and spitting him out alive. Demetrius was a young boy who had no childhood because he had to grow up fast. He had to live up to a certain standard of life that was so low, so appalling, so depriving, so full of corruption, hurt, hate, trauma. Demetrius was chasing after a God that he knew nothing about. Demetrius began to live a life that was not his. He began to see the apples were shiny and pretty, but their cores were full of bitterness and gall. But the apple was shiny. And so Demetrius bit from the apple. Demetrius didn't understand the significance of a lot of decisions that he was making. Demetrius was living the life of someone else. Because Demetrius was a kind-hearted individual that cared about people. But the alter ego of Demetrius, which was the devil, and I want y'all to understand this when I say this. If man would find his devil, he must look within. His name is self. Yes, your devil is within you. You are your own devil. This is why the term is put, we are our own worst enemy. The devil is your worst enemy. So the saying goes, we are our own worst enemies. Clap to that. That's what people do when we say that to them, that you your own worst enemy. They laugh at it as if it's something funny. But if man would find his devil, he must look within. His name is self. Man's devil name is self, y'all. Let's get this right, y'all. Let's stop playing with ourselves. Let's understand that if we want to overcome some of the challenges that we face in our communities, if we want to overcome some of the challenges that we face within ourselves, if we want to overcome some of the institutionalized racism that exists in the world, if we want to overcome that self-hatred, if we want to overcome being a violent society, if we want to overcome being unreliable, uncivilized individuals, then we have to go against the odds, because we know the odds are against us. So we got to go at them. We got to bump heads with them. We got to face our adversities, our fears. We have to know that we are bigger than what anyone can imagine us to be. We have to know that no one can define who we are. We have to know that no one, absolutely no one, can dictate the course of our life except us. We have to know that we are someone. As Martin Luther King once said, never let someone tell you that you are no one. Never let someone tell you that you are no one. Never let anyone tell you that you are no one. Because you are. Man is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit of God. He is a spirit. Man is the actual spirit. This is why I tell you that every word I speak is spirit to you. Every word that I speak is spirit to you. But if I'm being ruled by my worst enemy, a man will find his devil, he must look within. His name is self. And we are our worst enemies. Or if I'm speaking from the tongue of my worst enemy, no, my words are not spirit. My words are not spirit. My words are full of bitterness and gall, corruption. But my sheep shall know the sound of my voice, and a stranger will not follow. If you are tapped into your spirit, teach your spirit to be attentive to his good. Teach your spirit. You got to teach your spirit to be attentive to his good. You know. Now let me tell you something about that good thing. The one of good is evil. See, I don't want to do good. I just do good. See, the want of good means that you are already evil. Because you say, I want $1 million. I want to do this. That means you're not doing it right now. So what I'm telling you is that we got to do it. We faced against a mighty mountain. We faced against all odds. But no weapon formed against us shall prosper. I know you heard the saying. And no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Let me see. No weapon. We stand on victory. We stand on victory. Why? Because we're working through God's plan. It's not my plan. These are not my words that I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking the words of the Spirit that is upon me. I'm giving you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a higher level. I'm no bigger than you. I'm no smaller than you. I am you and you are me. We are a part of him. But I want you all to understand that just because we are against all odds do not mean that we have to surrender who we are. I surrendered who I was at one point because I didn't know. I didn't know who I was. So as I grew up, I grew into a character that was not me. A character. I use that term, a character, very strictly, unapologetically, purposefully, and intentional. I was a character because I did not know who I was. It took me many, many years. Fortunately, but unfortunately, it took me to go to prison to find out who I was. I seen men whom had reformed themselves, whom changed their lives around. Some of these men became my teacher. Brother Deval Newsom, Brother Dennis Gray Bay, Rimmer Bay, Grand Man, Gaskins Hill, Johnson Bay, Bomeka Bay. Come on. And it's a host of others. I just named off the Moors from the Moorish Science Temple of America, the organization that I went to, the school of thought that I went to that helped me to become the man that I am today. But there's so many other people. It's a village of people that raised me. There's a village of people that raised me, and there's a village of people whom are deserving of all honors, and I give all honors to. But just as they raised me to be the man that I am becoming, because I am not that man yet, I'm still becoming. I'm a work in progress. But I tell you, this work in progress is getting the job done. Even against all odds, do not surrender who you are. It's best to not have picked up the plow of wisdom than to have picked up the plow of wisdom only to put it down. Don't even pick it up if you're going to put it down. See, the wise man continues to live from his first beginning while the fool is always beginning. Let me say that again. The wise man continueth to live from his first beginning while the fool is always beginning. What does that mean? What does that mean, Demetrius? Well, let me tell you what that means. That means that the wise man understands the trials and tribulations of life that will befall him, but he do not surrender to it. He may stumble, he may slip, he may fall, but he's going to get right back up. And he's going to keep going because he never stopped. He's never stopped believing. His belief became lost in faith. And his faith was turned into fruition. And he kept moving forward and didn't turn back. But the fool does this here. The fool falls and say, shoot, I can't get there now because X, Y, and Z. He got every excuse in the book on why he can't keep moving. I just start over next week. I'm going to go and take a break. That's what the fool does. But the wise man continued to live from his first beginning, while a fool is always beginning. The wise man continued to live from his first beginning, while the fool is always beginning. Always starting over, saying what he gonna do. I'm gonna start next week. He'll start over next week, and then he'll fall off the horse again. He'll say, well, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take me a break, and then I'm going to start over again. No, just keep it moving. See, because when you're standing on the right side of right, you can't go wrong. When God got you, when God got his hands on you, When God got his hands at your back and he pushing you forward, just go forward. Don't worry about what's in front of you. Don't worry about what's in front of you. God ain't going to push you to a place that he can't get you through. Don't worry about what's in front of you. See, this is not about religion. This is not about some spirituality. This is about reality. The reality is that we live in a society where so many things happen and people cower down and give up and fall victim to their own weakness, and then they become a part of the problem instead of part of the solution. Because we don't understand. As Nas once said in a rap, and I'm just paraphrasing, he said, men fear what they can't conquer. I guess it's just a theory of man became a monster. I'm just paraphrasing it. We fear what we can't conquer. Conquer meaning understand. We fear what we can't understand. I guess it's just a theory of man became a monster. So now, because we don't understand how to be ourselves, we adopt that character. We adopt a new character. Do you hear what I'm saying? We adopt a new character. We adopt a new character that now, let me get a little bit close. I just want you to understand every word that I say. We adopt a new character. And we call that character by our own name. A character that we adopted. Not a character that God gave us, which is called self. Because it's more than just a character. It is who we are. What makes us who we are. And so now we have to fight ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. We have to fight ourselves because a man will find his devil. He must look within. His name is self. But the nearest place to meet God is in the heart. He's closer to you than your own jugular vein. So if the nearest place to meet God is in the heart, that means that God is in you too. Because if we are our own worst enemy, then we also are our own best friend. You hear what I'm saying? If we can be our own worst enemy, then we must also be our own best friend. Come on, talk to me. I talk back. I deal with the facts. Listen, so I'm not going to hold y'all up too long. I done held you up for 23 minutes. You know, and I can go on because I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest. I got a lot of stuff to say. I got a lot of love to give, and I want to keep sharing my blessings with people because the blessings that Allah has bestowing upon me ain't meant for me. It's meant for me to give away. It's like if you're not really thirsty and I give you a gallon of water and you know someone who is thirsty, might take you a little sip, but you give it away. That's how you become blessed, when you give it away. The blessing is not yours till you give it away. So I'm going to end with this here. I want everyone. This is the season that everyone tends to hold dear to their heart, to be with their family. I want you to hold it dear like that, but understand that just because society says that it's a special time of the year doesn't mean that we only have to look at this time of year as being special. Because every day that you wake up is a special day. Every day that you wake up, you're blessed. Every day that you open your eyes, you're able to see. Every day that your mind is activated, you're able to think. And why is that? Why is that? Because the thought is the cause of it all. Peace and love to those who hear the sound of my voice. For those who cannot hear the sound of my voice, I said pass along the message because someone needs to be inspired.